This is the new wave, where things have evolved. The game ain't the same as it once was. This is NBA Live. Here, you can be the one and shine like the league's best. Anybody can get shook or dunked on or crossed up. And your newfound control over your strength, skills, and style is a beautiful thing. So do you want to be the one or the one who gets left behind? You have the ability to dominate on both ends of the court. It's all in your hands now. But remember this, the path to being the greatest, being the one, does not stop at the NBA. The game continues in the playgrounds, the schools, and the local gyms. This is where every real player developed their love for the game, where they paid their dues, earned their reps, and rode their own wave. From pickup games at the Rucker, to Pro-Am games at the Drew, to the bright lights of the NBA. The paths to greatness are limitless. And trust me, this game ain't the same. Are you ready to be the one?
Now you see the difference? You ready to be the one?
Yeah, you could copy paste me, but you cannot replace me. It's not creative, yeah, so we is not related. Whole squad feeling godly lately. Yeah, I'm a god, that's how mommy raised me. Yeah, they tryna violate me, tryna beat the king like
the
this.
Memphis Grizzlies.
You could copy paste me, but you cannot replace me. This flow cool, yeah, probably, maybe. I'm shining, I'm raining, they tryna shade them. And y'all constantly, and mine probably need training. I'm obviously obligated, but the flow's got Nas, even nauseated, yeah. See me in the city, say what's up, yeah. Everybody know I'm showing love, yeah. Same time I be showing love, yeah. I do what I want, whatever I want. I want to one, yeah. I want to one, yeah. I look around, I'm the only one, yeah. I want to one, said I want to one, yeah. I want to one.
You got the star quality, bro. And I don't mean that on no other with you. You can light the rap game on fire.
You could copy paste me, yeah, but you cannot replace me. These number twos keep trying to trace me. I swear these number twos keep trying to erase me. I'm blowing up, so they trying to deflate me in the field looking filthy, so me to compensate me. I already tried college, baby. It was like modern slavery, they cannot contain me. I'm one-on-one and I do what I want. All these.
Let's start creating your look. If you haven't already done so, download the Game Face HD app. Scan yourself and get your face in the game.
I want them hunters in abundance, honey, unless you Wonder Woman, I don't want a woman. I never won, it made me wonder why. Been at the bottom like an underline. Today my mama cried a dozen times. My little cousin might another crime. But who am I to say was right or wrong? I live my life and then I write a song. I could've put my pain in styrofoam. Instead I poured it in a microphone. Yeah, see me in the city, say what's up. Yeah. Everybody know I'm showing love. Yeah. Same time I be showing love. Yeah. I do what I want, whatever I want. I want to one. Yeah. I want to one. Yeah. I look around, I'm the only one. I want to one. Said I want to one. Yeah. I want to one. I do what I want, whatever I want. Yeah. I said what I want, I will what I want. Yeah. I know what I want. It's a number 9. Yeah. Trying to.
Beard, scruff, or clean shaven, your path to facial hair greatness starts here.
There's no camouflage, you cannot disguise, yeah. Boy, I've been the truth, never been the truth, yeah. Rather been the block, in the bed, look cool, yeah.
Let's start creating your look. If you haven't already done so, download the Game Face HD app. Scan you. Now it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be. First, let's choose your player type: guard, wing, or big. Now, let's define your style of play. This will determine the impact you have on the court. Now, It's time to choose your player's height and weight. Every choice you make here will affect your player's physical capabilities, both good and bad. So choose wisely before you lock in. Like millions of other kids, you dreamed of one day being in the NBA. You wanted to be a star, and someday to rise above and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But the road to stardom is never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal. It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
Now, look, it's always bad to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, this one is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season, and one of the top NBA prospects in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. But my heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this happen to you.
The team doctor broke the news. Torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA draft, your name is still mentioned. Not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope, anyway, that this is a lesson, this serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one and dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that. If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max. The woe is me. Oh, my Lord. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one and dones or this should be one and dones. You got to go on a case-by-case basis. Some dudes deserve to be one and dones. Some people don't. It's on a case-by-case basis.
And that is my point. Thank you for making it for me. Every kid thinks they're the exception to the rule. And members of the media like, Stephen A. Smith, are encouraging these kids to come out early.
Look, Max, bottom line is this. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Height brothers. Then you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. Pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
How is exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Height brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique. The argument, or one argument, as long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Hype Brothers was something special. What they really, really need to do. And I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a pro-am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
So why if you picking my phone? Thought you was with it before. Stop all that silly talk. You never certain things to start to pick up on. Just like evidently you don't. Let up on it. Really? Roll up. If you think you never ever give a she really trying to get into. Most friends wanna come with me. Good things always come in threes. Can't let you walk out the door. You show me what that in for. Not trying to mess up the vibe, but you got quarter to five. Need a hitter from a roar. Cause she just off the dark. She looking support. Everything
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt the Stilt, and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the Ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment here. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem. game.
I need a heavy yard.
Beautiful Venice Beach, a place like no other, fit with a cast of characters and all the sun, sand, and shoreline you can handle. But Venice Beach basketball brings a completely different kind of beauty to the beach. A beauty made of long-range jumpers, meta-world peace-level defense, and some of the best athletic ability in the West. And it ain't news. Since the heyday of the OG Ray Lewis dropping 50 on Michael Cooper in the 80s. Since Freedom Williams put up 75 in a college game. Since Ron Beals created the trend of street ball legends pushing the pros to their very limits under the scorching California sunshine. Long before baggy shorts and the elbow sleeve became the universal uniform of choice, every guard at Venice has been a menace. And the rule here is, you reach, we teach. Teach your defense the definition of pressure, and big men, pack a lunch. It's gonna be a long day down there in the paint. Out here, the days are long, and the handles are strong. Are you ready to get busy on the beach? Venice. game.